everybody, and welcome back to Adobe Live with a new challenge in Adobe Illustrator. Today, we're going to be focusing on element of marketing and how to create marketing materials using Adobe Illustrator. In particular, we're going to be focusing on stickers, and because we know that it is the lovely 36th day of type going on this month, we're going to be creating a letter, but feel free to join, follow along, and use any shape or any letter you wish. Before we get started, make sure to hit the description and the link in order to access the starter file so you'll be able to follow along with me. So let's go ahead and jump into Illustrator where I start to say hi to everybody that is here in the chat with us. And because we are also in the wonderful Women History Month, this beautiful month celebrating women, we are celebrating another inspirational woman called Camila Walala. She's a beautiful designer, very, very inspiring. I've seen one of her building that is up in London. She focuses on these geometric graphics. She has a wonderful book that just came out this December. I really strongly recommend everybody to go and check it out. She's pretty awesome with this bold graphic. And if you know me already, and if you don't know me, my name is Kladi. I'm your host for some of these amazing Illustrator challenges. And I dig this bold graphic look that Camila Walala brings out to our eyes. These lovely bright eye candies. Let me know in the chat if you know her already and also where you are watching from. I am streaming from Manchester, UK, and it's at 7:30 right now. If you're watching from YouTube, jump over on behance.net/live. I look forward to see your comments and saying hi in chat. So let's keep going. As I say today, we're going to be creating a sticker. And as usual, when I create my challenges, I like to give you a little preview of what we're going to be creating, which is this example right here. I started with creating just some drawing with a pencil tool, some shapes using the Pathfinder tool to bring them together, and then use the appearance panel to add fill and stroke. And then personalize it with a little touch. In this case, I've added my Instagram handle. You can add your Instagram, your website, but that's the beauty of this marketing material, because you know, the sticker is just a white outline. Now, of course, I placed it on a background so you can see it, but imagine it like, you know, placed anywhere. It's really eye-catching with these bold, bright colors inspired from Camila Walala and this beautiful pattern as well, but also contains a link. So people that see your sticker anywhere, they can just go back and check your Instagram page, your TikTok, or your website. So let's get started. We know time is ticking fast. Remember, you can just follow along or just watch and then come back and rewatch the replay in order to work with me at any time. In order to get started, as I say, we're going to be using the pencil tool. The pencil tool is here on the toolbar. You can see it because it looks like a pencil, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. And the beauty is that you can add an edit path by drawing freehand. So that's wonderful if you have maybe a tablet, but if not, I'm just using my laptop over here. That's the proof live. I'm going to be using my trackpad, so you can use it with anything really. Now, before we get started using the pencil tool, double click on it. And once you double click, the pencil tool options will pop up. Something that is very important, especially where you do not have access to a pen and you will make sure that the lines that you draw are nice and smooth, is to set the fidelity of your line to smooth. By doing so, Adobe Illustrator will automatically make your curves and your lines smoother. Of course, if you're going for a more hand-drawn look and you do not mind that Illustrator takes on all the single movement that you create with your hand when you draw, feel free to leave it up to accurate. That will represent exactly an accurate line as per the one you're drawing. As I said, because I'm using the smooth tool, I use the trackpad, I really need a lot of help. So I'm definitely going to set it all the way. I'm going to drag all the slider all the way to the right and set it to smooth. Then I'm going to click on OK. And with the pencil tool selected, I can go ahead and start to draw my shapes. So all I've done here is to create some bold bubbles, just like so. And you can see that we have our outline already coming up. Now, if you do not see any stroke, don't panic. It's probably because your stroke color is set to white or to none. In order to change it, all we have to do is to head to the fill and stroke controls located at the bottom of our toolbar. And I'm going to zoom in one more time so you see which one I'm talking about. They're on the opposite side over here under the toolbar, and you can double click on it, and from the color picker you can assign any color you wish. So I'm going to go ahead and just simply set a color black, or you can set it to whatever color you like. When done, click on OK, and you will see that your stroke appears right away. Let's not worry too much about appearance right now. We're just focusing on drawing. Then we can go back and tailor the appearance for whatever we like. As I said, I'm just showing you these techniques in order to sharpen your skills and techniques in Illustrator. Feel free to follow along, but I also love to see your twists. Maybe you can get inspired by some other creatives or anything else that you like, or maybe you can do something that represent your brand and you can use for your own marketing material. So I look forward to see what you create. I'm going to go ahead and add more blob shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and click and drag with the pencil tool. And as you can see, no matter the shapes here, what is important is that we come back from the origin. So as you can see here, I didn't match the origin of my shape with the end, and therefore we have an open path. In this case, I'm looking to create close path, but you can always close a path by hovering on the closing anchor point, which is the last one. You will see that the pencil tool, I'm going to zoom in so you can properly see how it changes. It becomes from a little asterisk, which is there when you're creating a new anchor point. When you hover on the end of a path or any open path, it changes into a slash that basically says, hey, I'm going to catch up from here, so I'm gonna keep going. In fact, if we click and drag from this anchor point and we then get to the origin, you will see that now the icon will change into a circle, and that's to say that it's gonna close our path, just like so. Now, I'm not happy with this path at all. You can go ahead and practice as many times as you want. Once you don't like it, just simply select it and then click on delete. You can also swap between the pencil tool and the selection tool while also pressing the letter V on your keyboard if you wish to select any path that you designed. So I'm going to press the letter N to go back into my pencil tool, and now I'm going to try and draw another blobby shape for our letter E, and I'm going to keep going to create one in the middle and then one at the bottom over here. Now you can take your time and draw your path as many times as you want, and you do not only have to, just delete the last shape. You can actually go back and redraw any of the shapes. So maybe this top one was a little bit too large. You can select it, and then you can delete it. And what happened there, I actually connected the two paths, so I will be able to redraw them independently. So again, press the letter N on your keyboard, and I'm going to go ahead and click and drag to design a new blob shape, and then I'm going to do it one more time in order to have the vertical part of the letter E. I'm much happier with this selection. All I have to do here is to click and drag on the path, and then from the properties panel, that's where we're going to access the Pathfinder options. The Pathfinder is located at the bottom of the properties panel. It's called Pathfinder, and there are different icons. The icon that I'm looking for in order to merge these shapes into one is the one called Unite, which is usually the very first one inside the Pathfinder options. Once you click into it, you will see that will automatically merge all the shapes into one, and it will erase any intersection. So now we have just one single shape. Now, when you catch something like that here, make sure to go ahead and zoom in to see what's going on. You can also swap between a normal view into an outline view by using the shortcut Command Y on a Mac. There will be Control Y on a Windows, and here you will see the actual outline of your design. So no matter the thickness of your stroke, you'll be able to look at details. And here we can see that I've done a little zigzag. Maybe the path was overlapping. Well, not a problem. All we have to do here is to use the pen tool by pressing the letter P, or by selecting the pen tool inside the toolbar to go ahead and start to edit the anchor point. But before doing so, make sure to select the actual shape so you can see the anchor point that are showing inside the shape. And here I'm going to go ahead and hover on the anchor point that I want to delete. And because it's an anchor point that already exists, once we hover on it, the pen tool will have a little minus sign showing next to it. So all I have to do is to click once, and you will see that the point is automatically deleted. So if we zoom back, we see that now our shape looks nice and clean. There is no zigzag and no overlapping. So always work with zooming in and really looking at this detail. And now let's hop back into a normal view. So in order to exit the preview and the outline view mode, use again the Command Y or Control Y if you're working on Windows, and we're back in a normal view. And it's now time to start using our appearance panel in order to decorate your design. So let's go ahead now and click on our drawing, on our letter E or anything else that you are working with right now. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and select the appearance panel. You can find the appearance panel if it's not present within your workspace, like any other panel inside the window menu. So choose Window and then Appearance, and then you will see the appearance panel popping up. Now remember, in order for these changes to take effect while you work, you will have to select the shape first. So click on it with the selection tool. So press the letter V to activate the selection tool, or you find it here at the top of the toolbar, and then you can select the object that you wish to edit. You will see the bounding box around it that lets you know that you are ready to edit this object. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to click on the size of the stroke. And here, I just want to make it stroke a little bit bigger. Perhaps I'm going to go ahead up to 20. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another stroke because I want to change the color of the stroke and add multiple strokes just to give that bold, blocky look like our wonderful inspiration of Camila Walala. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add a new stroke. It's the little icon located at the bottom of the appearance panel. As you can see, the very first one is just a white stroke. That's there for you to add a new stroke. Well, the one on the right is to add a new fill appearance, and then the third one is the effect. We're going to jump into that in a second as well. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can all see the entire shape. And from the new stroke, I'm going to go ahead and add the new stroke. You will see that the settings are duplicated to per last stroke. So the last one was black and 20 points, so we have another black 20-point stroke. First thing I'm going to do is to click and try to find a color here. Now, as you can see, I already have my Camila Walala color palette ready to go into my swatches panel. If you want to know how to add the color panel, the color that I provided for you, inspiration from Camila Walala, all you have to do is to click and drag on the color that you have selected or any color that you have inside your artboard that you wish to use, and then just simply select the swatches panel, and from there click on the little folder located at the bottom of the swatches panel. It's called the new color group. And once you do so, you will be able to add a new color group and call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it W, as already have a Camila Walala added in my swatches panel. Make sure to select artwork is selected so you can actually make sure that you lift the color from the artwork that you have selected. In this case, it's this color palette samples that I have here, and click on OK. And here it is. I just created a duplicate because, as I say, it was already there. I don't need it, so all I have to do is to drag it in the little bin at the bottom of the swatches. Of course, if you were doing it for the first time, you can keep it there. And the beauty is that now, once we head back into our appearance, we can select our stroke swatches here from the appearance panel, and we can access this color palette directly within the appearance. So here it is. We can choose whatever color we want. I'm going to go ahead and pick the pink. But what happens? We do have two strokes, but we do not see them. So we'll only see the black one. Well, all we're left to do here is to make this stroke bigger. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to double the stroke to show you this effect. Once we double the stroke, you will see that the stroke sits at both sides of our original stroke. And that's not the effect that I'm going for. That's absolutely fine if that's what you like. If you want to have a stroke that is sitting inside and outside, that's what you will do. But in this case, I want to have two strokes that look exactly the same, and they're one after the other. So how do we do that? Well, you can access the stroke options by clicking on the word stroke. And in this case, I'm going to align the stroke to the outside. But look what happened now. The stroke, the pink stroke, is much bigger because we enlarged it so we were able to see it when it was under the black. In this case, I just can go back and set it to 20 points. So now it's going to be exactly like the one that is on the black one. But in this case, what we have to do here is now to move the black one inside, because at the moment the black one is set to the center of the shape, so it's actually covering half of our pink one. So look what happened. Now we have the black stroke sitting inside and the pink stroke sitting outside. They're both 20 points, so they're both going to be looking of the same side. One is sitting inside and one is sitting outside. Of course, now if I want to replicate and perhaps add another one outside the pink, I perhaps want to start to go 20 points to 40 points, so we can actually see double the size outside. Another thing that I want to do here, especially when I have these corners so close to each other, is to make sure that we round our corners. That will give us a much nicer effect. And I'm going to do the same for my pink stroke as well. Fantastic. So once we are ready to go, we can start to move into the fill. And as you can see, I've created this lovely staple effect with this nice line. Again, inspiration from our artist today. All we have to do is to select on the fill icon, and first of all, let's give it a background, so we can go ahead and add any color we want. So let's go ahead and start it with a yellow, but remember, select your shape first and then go ahead and make the changes in order to apply it to the actual shape. So here we go. Now it will show. And now we want to apply also a texture. So what we have to do is to create a new fill, and then make sure that we select the fill that sits on top of the solid color, because the solid color is actually opaque, it's not transparent, so it will lay on top of it and we don't see anything underneath. So to the layers on top, because remember, anytime that you're working with layers in Illustrator, as much as in Photoshop, in other apps, anything that sits above in the layer stacks, even in the appearance panel, will display above the object. So always make sure to work on the one above if you want your effect or your colors to show through. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and from the swatches panel, I'm gonna go and click to my swatch library menu. Is the first icon at the bottom of the fill icon there. And from there, I'm gonna go ahead and select patterns, basic graphics, and basic graphic textures. By doing so, you will see that we have a little preview coming up. If you want to see a little bit of a large thumbnail, just click on the flyout menu and select large thumbnail view. And here you can definitely appreciate a larger collection and larger view for your swatches. So I'm going to go ahead and from the one that I've selected, they open up over here. There they are, the basic graphic texture. You can use whatever you like. So this is the one that is the stapled that I used before. It looks very, very beautiful, although it looks pretty small when you apply it. All of them are quite small when you apply them, but we can make it larger with this simple trick. So all we have to do is to right click on it, making sure that your shape is selected, and then select transform and scale. Now, if you want to scale it, we want to make sure that we do not scale the entire shape. As you can see, the E is gone out of our artboard. And in order to do so, you want to untick transform objects. Also make sure the scale corner and scale strokes and effect is deselected, because otherwise you will see that also our stroke and effect will scale. And the only thing that we want to do is transform pattern. So as you can see, we select transform patterns. In this case, I've set my transformation, my scale to 500%. All we're left to do is to click on OK, and you will see that it's pretty much ready to go. So we have our effect scaled, and now the last thing to do here is to add a new stroke. So let's go back to our appearance panel. Let's move this little swatches back into our stack, and then from here I'm gonna go ahead and add a new stroke, bring it to the very bottom because we want to make sure that it's under everything. I'm gonna set it to white, so we're not gonna see it right away, and then I usually give it the double. So in this case, from 20 is 40, and then probably add another 20. So I'm gonna set it to 60 point. And you can start to see it there because I picked an off gray just so we could appreciate it and see a little bit more. I would suggest maybe add the background so you can see the contrast and set it to white. Now, the reason why I set it to white is so we can give our printer a little bit more of a better defined stickers. You don't want these sort of gaps in between the letters. So in this case, maybe we can perhaps even set it to 100 so we can close this gap. I think that 80 probably will do for this shape. But have a look, see, we still have a little bit of a gap. and you can just use the little arrow until you're happy. So it looks like 86 for my shape will do. And now before we get going, let me show you how to add your name in order to have this lovely personalized sticker. So if we move it outside of the artboard, we see that the sticker is pretty much ready to go. In order to add your name around any shape that you design, all we're left to do is to create a copy and paste it in front by using the shortcut Control or Command C and then Control Command F after you select your shape. And then head to the toolbar and select the Type tool, hold it and select Type on a path. And from here, click once on a path, and remember, you must copy it because otherwise it will just simply disappear. So create a copy and then write whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and write I am Kladi, which is my Instagram handle. You can place your website, whatever you want. And then from here, you can choose your character options, your character size. You can choose any font that you like. And also you can change the size of your text as well. Once you're happy with your text selection, just move it outside the shape so it's visible under the white. And you can use any of these lines here, which are around your letters, in order to move your text underneath. So this is the end of your text area. So you want to make sure that you take that a little bit further up, and then you can also move wherever your text starts over there. You can also use the center alignment in order to bring your text inside the path, but in this case we really want to make sure that we keep it outside so it stays in the white box. And we're pretty much ready to go. All we're left to do here is to perhaps add a background by pressing the letter M and adding a new rectangle. The appearance options are sticky, so we want to go ahead and make sure that now we have our stroke to none. And then use the shortcut Command Shift left bracket to bring it back. And I know that we have just one more minute, but I want to push it to show you how to really display your sticker so it stands out. All we're left to do here is to select your letter and then head to the effect panel, and under stylize, select drop shadow. And by doing so, click on OK. And by doing so, you will just give it a look and an idea that, hey, this is not a flat design. This is my sticker. It's ready to go to the printer. So of course, if you're sending your file to the printer, just export it and save it as an Illustrator file without the background and without the drop shadow. Otherwise, your printer will be very confused. But is in this case, if you're looking to participate to the 36 Day of Type or sharing these on your social media, and by the way, this artboard is ready for your Instagram feed, use the option Command E, and then you will be able to choose any design you want, and then select any folder on your machine. And from here, click on Export Artboard and replace. And in this case, or you probably just don't have to click on replace. It looked like I saved it already. And now your sticker is ready to be shared with the world. Don't forget to share it on Discord. That's our wonderful community where you will receive feedback. You can see all the other challenges. Simply drag the image in there and ask any question. It's a wonderful community, international community, at your fingertips, ready to help you out, respond to your questions with all the lovely mentors that are there to help. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. I had an absolute blast with you with these wonderful Illustrator challenges. Come back for more, and come back for more classes and stream at Adobe Live. There is always a lot of fun, a lot of creative fun going on. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye for now, and happy Friday. Bye.